Obviously, there's a lot of conflicting information out there when it comes to protein. So in this video, I want to condense all the science-based information down to give you like the final answer on every single protein question you've ever asked. Yo, what is up everybody? I'm Cyrus, I'm a natural lifter, been lifting for 15 years now, and I've been researching this topic for over a decade, and now I take all that experience, all the research I've gathered, and I now teach skinny natty guys under 30 how to build drug-free muscle with just 2 workouts per week. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. Let me switch screens for you, that way you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. For this video, we're going to be talking about 5 different things. Number 1 is how much protein do you actually need? So the ideal like rep range, or not rep range, we're not talking about exercise, we're talking about protein. The ideal protein range for most of you guys, maybe yourself, likely for yourself, for myself included, is going to be 0.8 to about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Now, even though this is a pretty good range, I would say for you, just stick to 1 gram, especially if you're trying to build muscle. You want to make sure that you're giving your body the best chance. So sticking to a higher number like 1 gram is amazing. Now, I will add this just for those of you who are watching this video who may be cutting or maybe planning on cutting in the future. If you're going to if you're planning on cutting, bump this number up to, I would say, like 1 gram to like 1.2 grams per pound of body weight every single day. Just because you are cutting, you're down on your calories. You want to make sure that your muscles have enough protein to maintain the size that you've already built while being in the gym. So bump it up a little bit to like 1 to 1.2. Now, protein's important because skinny guys do need to eat more protein than the average person. Like, you are trying to build muscle. You are trying to literally build. You can't build nothing, or you can't build something out of nothing. So you need to feed your body additional calories as well as additional protein in order to actually build muscle. Now, when it comes to the range of like how much protein you should be eating every single meal, a lot of people have this common question. Maybe you've asked this yourself too, like, how much protein should I actually be eating every single meal? Or can I spread my protein like throughout the day, or does it need to be one big amount of protein? The answer is that ideally, you do want to spread your protein out throughout the day in about the range of 25 to 40 grams per meal, and your body will absorb it a little bit better. But however, if you do happen to, eat 2 or 3 big meals throughout the day that consist of like a way higher range, like 90 grams or 70 grams, that's totally fine too. Like, your body is super advanced. It's going to adapt no matter what you feed it. So to answer your question, honestly, it's not a super big deal. Like, if you just focus on hitting your number at the end of the day, that is way better than just trying to focus on exactly how much protein you should be eating every single meal. Pretty much figure out how much you weigh. So if you weigh 150 pounds, just make sure at the end of the night that you hit 150 grams of protein for the day, and you'll be perfectly fine. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is tracking your protein so you don't actually fall short of your protein goals for the day. A lot of you guys, maybe you do this yourself. Maybe you like to eyeball your calories, eyeball your protein, and you think, I can do it. I can just guess and I'll be pretty accurate. I used to think the same thing. My first couple of years of lifting, I was just guessing. I wasn't really tracking. And when I did finally start tracking, even though I thought I was super accurate, I started tracking for real, and I found out my guesses were all way off. And I wasn't getting enough calories in. I wasn't getting enough protein in. So I honestly my progress was halted because I wasn't getting the calories and protein that I thought I was. So if you want to be as efficient and as optimized as possible, and you want to see really, really, really quick progress as a natty, you need to make sure that you track. So I'll actually just show you right now. So I got my phone right here, and let me switch to the big screen. That way you guys can see what I'm talking about. I got my phone, and just download this app. It's called Cronometer. It's like CRONO meter, METER. I used to use MyFitnessPal, and MyFitnessPal was great. I used MyFitnessPal for years, but over the years they started getting really wonky, and like their shit started to get really bad. Like, they charge for features now. So I switched to Cronometer. And the reason I use Cronometer is because this is what it looks like, first of all. But this little orange button down here, you just click that, and there's a barcode scanner here. So if I open up my camera, you can see that there's a scanner, right? And how it works is you scan your food, and it makes it super easy to track your calories and track your protein, because you don't have to type anything in. Like, you literally just scan the food you're eating as long as it has a barcode scanner on it. And it's like instantaneous. Like, the scanner is so fast. That makes it super easy to track your protein as well as your calories too. And I switched to Cronometer because that feature is free on Cronometer. On MyFitnessPal now, like, they charge for it, which is ridiculous. So that's the reason why I switched, and that's why you should use Cronometer. Now, the next thing I have here is to keep a daily checklist to hit your protein target. You could honestly simplify this into one single checkbox. And the way I do it is that on Chronometer, if I pull up the big screen again, on Chronometer, you may not be able to see it just because the camera might not focus on it. But at the very top, you can kind of see those 3 circles. At the very top, it'll tell you like how many calories you ate and how many calories you consumed. But if you swipe to the next, let me go to the yesterday, you can see these bars. Oh, you can kind of see that. These bars. So you see the second row, it's green, my protein. So it shows you exactly how much protein you ate for the day. If you know the number you're aiming for, which for me is 185, you can reference this and it'll tell you exactly how much protein you ate for the day. Just check that at the end of every single day and make sure you're hitting your number. And you don't really need a huge checklist. Using that as one single checkbox works perfectly fine. So that's it for number 1. The next thing, if we go back to my screen here, meal timing and frequency. That's the next thing we're going to talk about. So ideally, you want to spread your protein across a couple meals a day. That'll work best. But like I said, if you consume bigger meals, that's totally fine too. Basically, like I said, eat bigger meals. If you can't eat 4 times a day, it's totally fine too. The main idea and the main goal is that you want to hit your total amount for each and every single day. Now, if you struggle with getting gains and you struggle with getting enough calories, enough protein, and a good trick I'd use is to make sure you eat breakfast every single day, even if you're not hungry. This will just kind of get your body going. It'll get your mindset in the right track as well too, that you need to be eating throughout the day. So eat breakfast, even if it's something small like a protein bar or oatmeal or like a protein shake. Even these pre-made protein shakes like work really well. Like these are awesome. I've been testing these out through the Walmart Equate brand protein shake, caramel flavor, 30 grams of protein, 170 calories. Taste amazing, really good actually. I think it's the best flavor. They got vanilla and chocolate as well too. And I've been trying these. Usually I drink the Muscle Milks from Costco, but I have a Walmart that's closer to me and I saw these and I was like, let me give these a shot. And now I've been buying like 3 boxes at a time. I think they're really good. These are a good hack. You can just drink them throughout the day whenever you're hungry, and it's a good way to get your protein in without having to like cook and stuff like that. Now, next thing here is that you don't need to eat right after you work out. Yes, it's like good. It's a good way to just stay in the habit of making sure you get protein in, but it's like a lot of guys, maybe you do this too. You just focus and like lock in on making sure you got to eat like right after you work out. Like you can't go 10 minutes without without eating right after you work out. Otherwise your gains go to waste. Your body does not function like that. Your body is an organic machine that is going to adapt and learn to whatever you do to it. So it's okay to not eat as long as you get your protein for the entire day. That's what's important. Next thing is to stick to your protein goal, even on rest days. Just because you're resting doesn't mean you need to doesn't mean you can skip out on your protein. Once you figure out your protein goal, and if you're trying to bulk up, you need to hit that number every single day. Same goes for cutting, except your range is a little bit higher. So next thing I want to talk about is food choices. These are some of the best sources. Eating whole foods like chicken, beef, and eggs. These are some of my favorites. Chicken, stay away from fried. It's not the best for you, not the most healthy. Rotisserie chicken's amazing, especially it's super cheap. When you go to Costco, you can get like a $5 rotisserie chicken. Chicken thighs, chicken breast. Frozen's okay too if you don't mind buying frozen and thawing out. It's a little bit cheaper that way as also. I even do things like canned chicken. Canned chicken's amazing, super cheap, super convenient. It's already cooked. You just crack it open and eat it with like a salad, or sometimes I put canned chicken in my scrambled eggs and I fry it up that way. Amazing too. Beef, I like ground beef just for the fact that it's super convenient, super easy to cook. I cook a bunch and I freeze the rest of it. That way I can just thaw it as I need it. Steaks are really great too. They just get kind of expensive. A good hack I've been using lately is I go to Costco and I get the big chuck roast that they have there. The big chuck roast is huge. It's like literally like it'll fill up this entire screen. And it's like, I forget how much, maybe it's like $50 for, what is it, like 10 pounds maybe. It's pretty big, but honestly, it's a good hack. And what I do is I take that entire chuck roast and I cut it up in the like steak size slices. And yes, it's a little bit fattier because it's got, it's a chuck roast, so there's a little bit extra fat on it, but that's okay because it's super bomb and it tastes amazing. And if you are bulking, those extra calories will help you as well too. So other than that, animal proteins are going to be the best for you. They're easier to build muscle compared to plant protein just because plant protein is a little bit lower in terms of how much protein it's got. So sometimes you need to eat way more plant protein than animal protein. However, if you're a vegan or vegetarian or something like that, then plant protein might be better for you. Same goes for protein powders as well too. They make a bunch of protein, plant protein based protein powder. I like the Orgain ones. They're not bad. They have pre-made shakes that taste pretty good as well too. When it comes to whey protein, ideally you don't want to rely on it. Like if you can focus on eating a whole food diet, and focus on eating actual like protein sources from actual food, that'll be better, a little bit healthier for you. However, I do tell my clients like, hey, if you can't hit your goal for the day, then yeah, by all means, like drink a bunch of these. Like I will literally sometimes start my day by drinking like 3 of these in a row. Like I'll just pound them, and that's 90 grams of protein for the, after like waking up for 30 minutes. So the point I'm trying to make here is that it's easy to get your protein in, guys. Like it's not, I'm telling you right now, it's not super difficult. It's not super hard. You can do it as long as you implement some of these hacks. Now, another good source of protein is eggs, like I mentioned. Eggs are great because they're cheap. You can use them in all types of foods. You can use them for breakfast. I put eggs with my dinner sometimes. Like if you're Filipino, I guarantee you've probably had a dinner where you eat rice, your adobo, and you throw an egg on top of it. Super good, super amazing. You can scramble them, boil them, fry them, put them in your shakes. You can bake with them, like buy eggs. I love eggs. They're cheap. Use them as often as you can. Some other options are, tuna, any type of canned fish. I really like Greek yogurt, nuts, almonds, any type of nut. What was I going to say? Protein powder, of course. Nut butters are really good too, as well too. So peanut butter is really good. Almond butter, those are really dense. Lots of calories. And a good source of protein as well too. So that's a good hack. Throw your peanut butter in your shakes, sandwiches, and you'll add a ton of calories. So number 4, let's talk about some daily structure as well as preparation. If you want to make your life a little bit easier and you're not the best cook, you can prep your meals twice per week, maybe even once per week. I typically only meal prep like once per week. And when I say meal prep, I don't like prep out meals. Like I am not a cook. I will tell you guys that I'm not a cook. I'm not a super fancy cook as well either, and I like to keep things easy and simple. So when I say meal prep, for me, what that means is I literally go to Costco, I buy the huge 10, it's like I'll pull a picture of it up. It's like a 10-pound tube of ground beef, and I literally just cut that up, and I put it in 4 different giant pans, and I cook it all at once. And I keep one container out for that week, and I freeze the rest of them, and then it lasts me easily like 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how much ground beef I eat. Now, the reason I do that is because I'm lazy, but I also want to make sure I'm eating healthy as possible. So I'm not just relying on protein shakes, but I'm also getting some actual nutrient dense foods. And I just freeze the rest. And whenever I need it, I thaw it, cook it with some rice, cook it with eggs, put it in stir fry. I'll eat it with pasta. Like there's tons of different choices. So if that's you, if you're lazy too, just like me, then yeah, by all means, make your meal prep super easy. However, if you are a cook, maybe you enjoy cooking, it's okay to make a little bit, fancier foods, fancier meal preps, like actual meal preps. But at the end of the day, it's all about being sustainable. So just pick whatever's easiest for you. Next tip is to plan your meals the night before to avoid guessing. This is one that really helped me out because a lot of the times when I first started, I would just like wake up and be like, what am I going to eat today? Or breakfast or lunch would come around and be like, what am I going to eat? I don't know. I have nothing planned. Let me just go to the fucking McDonald's and go buy whatever. And yeah, I could hit my calories that way, but it was more expensive, and McDonald's is not necessarily the most healthy thing for you, obviously. So plan your meals. Just at least have an idea of what you're going to eat. If you want to make this super easy, like I said, meal prep or batch cook your food. That way you know exactly what you're going to eat day to day. Like for the most part, I eat mostly the same thing every single day. Breakfast is either eggs, Greek yogurt, or protein shakes. Lunch is typically like a rice and meat, and sometimes I'll throw veggies in there. Dinner, a little bit different. That kind of goes or depends on whatever my wife decides to cook for the day, or maybe we decide to go out. But my breakfast and lunch is mainly and consistently the same. Next tip is keep protein snacks in your car or your bag for busier days. I used to keep a Costco bag of like the trail mix in my car, and I would always make sure I had that. Sometimes I would buy the box of like protein bars as well too, and leave those in my car. And most of the time too, there's always a box of protein shakes. Like this is what that Walmart one looks like. It's like a big box like this. And I would just have, like, I literally have one of these in my trunk right now just for emergencies whenever I need some extra calories or extra protein. And it's good for like after the gym too, because typically I throw my gym bag in the trunk after I work out and I see the box of protein there. I'm like, might as well drink one. So that's a good hack. That's a good thing you can do. And if you don't want to put them in your trunk, put them in your bag, put them in your backpack or, your locker or whatever. Just keep it like accessible and easy is the point I'm trying to make. Now, next point here is to try and add protein to every snack you eat. So when I say snack, that's what I mean. I mean like a protein shake, protein bar, maybe some boiled eggs, some peanuts in a bag, some trail mix like I had mentioned. Try not to eat snacks that are literally just full of carbs, or snacks that are just like straight up bad calories, like a candy bar or like a bunch of M&Ms. Like, yeah, those are like snacks typically or technically, but we want snacks that are actually going to benefit our goals of hitting our protein every single day. Another tip, another hack is to get some Greek yogurt or cottage cheese in before bed. I love Greek yogurt. I think it's super amazing. Now, the plain flavor is a little bit healthier for you, but it doesn't really taste the best to me. So I go ahead and I just get like the flavored ones. Like I'll get vanilla Greek yogurt from Walmart. That brand is really good. It tastes amazing. It's a little bit more sugar, but I don't really mind. It's like, I forget, it's like 20 extra calories per serving. It's not a whole lot. And I'd rather do that than like get the plain flavor and then like have to add honey or sugar or something like that. So I'm sure you can probably eat plain Greek yogurt, but me personally, I'd rather have it be flavored and take the hit in extra calories. I don't really mind. Super easy to mix Greek yogurt too with like a little bit of protein powder if you want. Don't do too much. Like don't fucking throw 3 scoops of protein powder in there because it's going to get really chalky. If you do add protein powder, start small. Like literally start with half a scoop of protein powder. Don't go insane. Otherwise you will not like the flavor and I promise you'll just throw it away. Some other tips for extra calories is a spoonful of peanut butter with vanilla Greek yogurt. Tastes amazing. What I'll typically do is I'll melt the peanut butter in the microwave first and then I'll pour it in the Greek yogurt. That way it just mixes up a little bit easier. But do keep in mind that your Greek yogurt's going to be like room temp after you do that because you put hot peanut butter in it. Now, some other things you can do is put peanuts in there, chia seeds. A lot of times I would put frozen fruit, so maybe like blueberries in there. And I would mix it up like that. I would typically thaw the fruit first or put them in the microwave and nuke them before I threw them in my Greek yogurt because frozen for me is not really like my thing. Like I don't like to chew on hard fruit. So it might be your thing. I don't know. It's up to you. Like it's all preference. Cottage cheese is really good too. You can do cottage cheese. Cottage cheese before bed is amazing. A good hack, a good little recipe I got from my sister was to mix your cottage cheese with honey and pineapple, and it's super bomb and literally tastes amazing. So next and final thing here is about mistakes to avoid. Number 1, don't replace meals with protein bars too often. Yes, protein bars are okay. They're not, they're still good for you. They're not the best when it comes to nutrients. So if you can, try to get as much whole food in your diet as possible, obviously. But there's going to be days when you need a protein bar, so it's okay to eat them. Of course, just don't if you can, try not to have your entire day just be protein shakes and protein bars. Avoid drinking calories that don't have protein, especially if you're trying to bulk up. So if you're watching this, you're probably a skinny guy. You're trying to put on some actual muscle. This is an actual good tip. Like when I'm not really trying to bulk up as hard as I am now because I've reached a point in my life where I'm at a decent size and I don't really need to grow. So I'm actually focusing on cutting down a little bit to kind of lean out. But when I was super skinny like you and I was really focused on building as much muscle as possible, I kind of avoided drinking anything that wasn't a protein shake. So literally during meals, I would wash it down with a protein shake. I would still get water in, but literally every time I ate, I tried to have a protein shake on me. Avoid low protein junk food during a bulk. Yes, you can bulk on shitty calories. Yes, you can bulk on fast food. I have done it myself, but it got me really, really, really fat. And I felt like shit every single day. And if you want to see gains, if you want to grow as an actual natty lifter, you want to make sure that your performance is as optimized and as best as possible. And you're not going to be able to have good performance while you're in the gym if you're eating like shit. So get your calories from whole food, get them from actual nutrient dense foods, and you'll perform way better in the gym, which eventually in the long term is going to be better, because if you perform better in the gym, you're going to see better gains because you're going to be able to lift heavier as well as lift longer too. So there you go. Next thing is to bulk slowly so that extra protein turns into muscle, not just fat. Like I said, tracking your calories, tracking your protein is super important. You want to make sure that you're in a caloric surplus of about 500 calories. You don't want to go higher above that because it's going to just become excess fat. You can bulk, but your body can only take so many extra calories at once. If you give it too much, it's going to turn into fat, even if you continue to lift. So I would say caloric surplus, 500 calories is going to be pretty good. Standard for most of you guys. Standard for yourself, most likely. Stick with that for now. Focus on muscle protein synthesis, not just calories. Yes, I will say that it is possible to bulk up just hitting a caloric surplus every single day and not hitting your protein intake every single day, but it's going to take way longer. It's going to be harder, and you're increasing the chances that those extra calories are just going to be fat and not muscle. So make sure you prioritize, number one, hitting your caloric surplus every single day, and number two, hitting your protein intake every single day. Focus on those two things, complement it with, regular training, progressive overload, 8 hours of sleep, a gallon of water to stay hydrated, lower your stress, implement active recovery on your rest days, and you'll be fine. I promise you will start seeing gains as a natural lifter. Those are the only things you really need. The last and final thing I want to talk about is that consistency matters more than getting it perfect every single day. So there's going to be days where you don't hit your protein. That's okay. It happens. Not every day is going to be a perfect day. The only thing you can do after you miss your protein like that is just to figure out what you did wrong and learn from it and try to adapt. That way tomorrow can be a better day and you can focus on hitting your protein goal. Now, I will add one more thing. If your goal, I'll make the math easy. If your goal, for example, is 100 grams of protein every single day, and today you only managed to get 80 grams of protein, you can forward those 20 grams that you missed onto the next day. So if your goal, like I said, was 100, but today you got 80, tomorrow you can hit 120 to kind of balance it out, because at the end of the day, it's about like your weekly average. Day to day is just helpful for goals, but at the end of the week, as long as you got an average of like 100 calories or 100 grams of protein per day, you'll be fine. So that's it. That's everything. Hope you guys learned something. Peace out. Goodbye.